Subscribe this channel, hit the bell icon. Hello all my dear students, it's Hseb Suraj once again for you to help. Today I have brought grammar section for all of you from class 12's upper intermediate meaning into words. I would like to request all of you to watch and listen all these questions and the answers very attentively for your better understanding. I would also like to request all of you to copy all these structures displayed in the video and try to make possible guesses of these questions answers before they are displayed in the video. Unit 6 Reported Speech. One of the important topics from Unit 6 is influencing and taking actions. Some of the important verbs structures from reported speech are promise, advise, suggest, urge, threaten, recommend, insist, beg, and so on. Meaning into words, Class 12, HSCV, NEB, both. Quoted or direct speech. Quoted or direct speech is a sentence in which we find exact words spoken by the original speaker. This speech reports the speech or thought of the main speaker. Reported speech is always enclosed in punctuation marks. For example, John said, "I am fine." Reported speech or indirect speech. Reported or indirect speech refers to the message of the speaker which is conveyed or reported through others' words. The punctuation marks are omitted in reported speech. For example, John said that he was fine. Now, important changes while making direct speech into indirect speech. If there is said in direct speech, we'll have to write said that in indirect speech. If there is said to me or name in direct speech, we'll have to write told me or name that in indirect speech. Examples for you. Number 1. He said, "I like you," and the answer is, he said that he liked me. Number 2. She said to Ram, "I'm fine," and the answer is, she told Ram that she was fine. Now, basic things change. This part is quite important for all of you. I would like to request all of you to copy all these structures into your copies. Direct speech into reported speech. Idiom into was were. Do does into did. Has have into had. V1 V5 into V2. Had plus V3 into had plus V3. V2 into had plus V3. Was were into had been. Had plus V3 into had plus V3, no change. Will sell plus V1 into would should plus V1. Can may plus V1 into could might plus V1. Must plus V1 into must plus V1 in case of obligation. Must plus V1 into had to plus V1 in case of necessity. Must plus V1 into would have to plus V1 in case of future. Would should plus V1 into would should plus V1, no change. Might could plus V1 into might could plus V1, no change. Was were plus V4 into had been V4. Did not plus V1 into had not plus V3. Need not plus V1 into did not have to plus V1. Today into that day. Now into then. This into that. Here into there. This year into that year. Tomorrow into the following day. Next week into the following week. Next month into the following month. Next year into the following year. Yesterday into the previous day or the day before. Last week into the previous week or the week before. Last month into the previous month or the month before. Last year into the previous year or the year before. Ago into before. Now, personal pronoun usage. 7 personal pronouns are first person I and we, second person you, third person he, say, it. Here we use SON formula to make use of personal pronoun. First person according to subject, second person according to object, third person there is no change. S means subject, O means object, N means no change. Now have a look at these examples. Important examples for you to use personal pronoun. Now, number first, main answer structures. While writing your answer, after subject, if you use verbs like said, admitted, explained, pointed out, claimed, insisted, denied, replied, repeated, you'll have to write complete answer from subject till object. After the use of these verbs, you'll have to write that plus subject plus verb plus object. Here in this answer, the use of that is not compulsory. The use of that is optional here. It's up to you whether you use that or not. In case of denied, you can directly use before. Now, number two, main answer structures. While writing your answer after subject, if you use the verbs like told, warned, assured, you'll have to write full answer from subject till object. After the use of these verbs, you'll have to write me, that plus subject plus verb plus object. Here in this answer structure, the use of that is not compulsory. It's up to you whether you use that or not. Now, number three, main answer structures. While writing your answer after subject, if you use verbs like apologized, insisted on, accused me, you can write three different answers for these verbs. For apologized, you can write 4 plus V4 and remaining part. For insisted on, you can write V4 plus remaining part. For accused me, you can write of plus V4 and remaining part. Now, number 4, main answer structures. While writing your answer after subject, if you use verbs like offered, refused, promised, threatened, agreed, invited, you'll have to write 2 plus V1 and remaining part. Now, number 5, main answer structures. While writing your answer after subject, if you use verbs like asked, tried to persuade, requested, begged, advised, ordered, commanded, recommended, urged, you'll have to write me plus 2 plus V1 and remaining part. Now, number 6, main answer structures. While writing your answer after subject, if you use verb like suggested, you can write two different answers for this particular verb. After suggested, you can write that plus I or we plus should plus be one and remaining part. After suggested, you can directly use before and remaining part. Now, questions and the answers for you. I would like to request all of you to make possible guesses of these questions answers before they are displayed in the video. Now for upcoming questions answer, you'll have to make proper selection of these verbs in the bracket like promise, threaten, advise, recommend, suggest, insist, beg, deny, accuse, assure, and urge. You can choose matching verbs for your answers, but your answer structures must be correct. Question number 1. Why don't you assist your parents? Here in this question, we can use suggest. And the answer is, he suggested that I should assist my parents. Question number 2. I can't tell you how important it is for you to give up smoking. Here in this question, we can use urge. And the answer is, he urged me to give up smoking. Question number 3. You have got to lend me the money. Oh, please, please. Here in this question, we can use beg. And the answer is, he begged me to lend him the money. Question number 4. Why don't you paint the ceiling yellow? Here in this question, we can use suggest. And the answer is, he suggested that I should paint the ceiling yellow. Question number 5. I will buy you an ice cream if you are good. Here in this question, we can use promise. And the answer is, he promised to buy me an ice cream if I was good. Question number 6. You should spend a week in Scotland. It is lovely. Here in this question, we can use recommend. And the answer is, he recommended me to spend a week in Scotland. Question number 7. No, I have already told you. I'm going to pay. Here in this question, we can use insist. And the answer is, he insisted that he was going to pay. Question number 8. You really ought to have your roof repaired. You know. Here in this question, we can use advise. And the answer is, he advised me to have my roof repaired. Question number 9. I will report you to the police if you don't do what I say. Here in this question, we can use threaten. And the answer is, he threatened to report me to the police if I did not do what he said. Question number 10. It is very important for you to give up drinks. Here in this question, we can use urge. And the answer is, he urged me to give up drinks. Question number 11. Why don't you start the medicine if you can't bear the pain? Here in this question, we can use advise. And the answer is, he advised me to start medicine if I couldn't bear the pain. Question number 12. You really ought to have your bike serviced. You see. And here in this question, we can use suggest. And the answer is, he suggested that I should have my bike serviced. Question number 13. You should try it once again. You may win. Here in this question, we can use advise. And the answer is, he advised me to try it once again. Question number 14. Please, you must help me. I don't know what to do. Here in this question, we can use beg. And the answer is, he begged me to help him. Question number 16. Why don't you go and see your bank manager? Here in this question, we can use suggest. And the answer is, he suggested that I should go and see my bank manager. Question number 17. You have been talking about me behind my back. Here in this question, we can use accuse. And the answer is, he accused me of talking about him behind his back. Question number 18. You will be in absolutely no danger at all. And here in this question, we can use assure. And the answer is, he assured me that I would be in absolutely no danger at all. Question number 19. We will make life very difficult for you if you don't cooperate. And here in this question, we can use threaten. And the answer is, he threatened to make life very difficult for me if I did not cooperate. Question number 20. Please, you must take me away from here. Here in this question, we can use begged. And the answer is, she begged me to take her away from there. Question number 21. Me, I didn't take your typewriter. Here in this question, we can use deny. And the answer is, he denied taking my typewriter. Now presenting meaning into words. Subtopic 6.4. Report the remark using verb from the list. Admit, deny, accuse, assure, explain, point out, claim, insist, warn. Question number 1. You are under no obligation to buy the drill if you don't like it. The salesman dash dash dash. Here in this question, we can use assure. And the answer of this question is, the salesman assured Mr. Locke that he was under no obligation to buy the drill if he did not like it. Question number 2. I don't want the drill because it doesn't work. Mr. Locke dash dash dash. Here in this question, we can use deny. The answer of this question is, Mr. Locke denied that he didn't want the drill because it didn't work. Question number 3. The same drill can be bought locally for £10 less. Mr. Locke dash dash dash. Here in this question, we can use point out. And the answer of this question is, Mr. Locke pointed out that the same drill could be bought locally for £10 less. Question number 4. You broke the drill by using it wrongly and you still owe us £45. Bargain electrics dash dash dash. Here in this question, we can use claim. And the answer of this question is, Bargain Electrics claimed that he had broken the drill by using it wrongly and he still owed them £45. Question number 5. I didn't break the drill. Mr. Locke dash dash dash. Here in this question, we can use deny. And the answer of this question is, Mr. Locke denied that he had broken the drill. Question number 6. The drill reached you in perfect condition. The managing director dash dash dash. Here in this question, we can use insist. And the answer of this question is, the managing director insisted that the drill had reached him in perfect condition. Question number 7. If you don't pay the balance within 7 days, we'll have to take legal action. The managing director dash dash dash. Here in this question, we can use warn. And the answer of this question is, the managing director warned him that if he didn't pay the balance within 7 days, they would have to take legal action. Question number 8. You are interfering in a private matter. the sales manager dash dash dash. Here in this question we can use accuse. And the answer of this question is the sales manager accused them of interfering in a private matter. Question number 9. Mr. Locke has been right all along. The drill was wrongly assembled in the factory. The managing director dash dash dash. Here in this question we can use admit. And the answer of this question is the managing director admitted that Mr. Locke had been right all along and that the drill had been wrongly assembled in the factory. Now presenting 6.5, a subtopic for you, influencing and taking action. Answer the upcoming questions using the verbs in the bracket. Agree, promise, advise, try to persuade, refuse, threaten, recommend, urge, insist, suggest, beg. Question number 1. Come on, Mr. Locke, why not to buy it? It's only £60 after all. Go on, it's an investment. Here in this question, we can use try to persuade. And the answer of this question is the salesman tried to persuade Mr. Locke to buy the drill. Question number 2. No, I have absolutely no intention of sending you the money. Here in this question, we can use refuse. And the answer of this question is Bargain Electrics refused to send Mr. Locke the money. Question number 3. If you don't pay up, we will take legal action. Here in this question, we can use threaten. And the answer of this question is the managing director threatened to take legal action if he didn't pay up. Question number 4. Frankly, I think you are asking for trouble if you don't pay. Why not just send them the money? You would feel much better if you did. Here in this question, we can use advice. And the answer of this question is Mr. Locke's friend advised him to send them the money back. Question number 5. I think you ought to get in touch with Safeguard. And here in this question, we can use suggest. And the answer of this question is a friend of Mr. Locke suggested that he should get in touch with Safeguard. Question number 6. Please, you must help me. I don't know what to do. Here in this question, we can use beg. And the answer of this question is Mr. Locke begged Safeguard to help him. Question number 7. Alright, Mr. Locke, we will look into it immediately. And here in this question, we can use promise. And the answer of this question is Safeguard promised to look into it immediately. Question number 8. No, I'm afraid that is not good enough. As I said to you before, we want to speak to the sales manager in person. And here in this question, we can use insist. And the answer of this question is Safeguard insisted on speaking to the sales manager in person. Question number 9. Very well then, we will give Mr. Locke his deposit back. Here in this question, we can use agree. And the answer of this question is the managing director agreed to give Mr. Locke his deposit back. Question number 10. To be honest, up to my experience with them, I wouldn't buy anything from Bargain Electrics. Here in this question, we can use recommend. And the answer of this question is Mr. Locke recommended his friends not to buy anything from Bargain Electrics. Now, questions for you to practice at home.